Everybody, welcome to step 6, what I call the Bachelor's Checklist. This is something that it has to be done, honestly. This is a culmination of every single step put together in a simple document, so you don't gotta bounce between all this stuff the whole time and try to figure out what to do next and all that stupid crap, right? You're trying to get it very direct and get it done. So, if I was to do the marketing BS degree, this is exactly what I would do. Just these are personal preferences a lot of the times. And I do want to make this very clear. I think this is very important. Yes, do all the required courses at the same time. That being said, also find the ones that you find most interesting. Don't just do, like, if you don't need to do calculus for your thing, then don't do calculus if you don't like calculus. Like, don't push yourself to do things that are hard just because they're hard. Do everything that interests you, and then do all the things that are required. That's just that's the reason why I chose introductory psychology, because I love psychology. It's like one of my favorite things to study. So I put it into what I needed to get for my credits, because a blank one could fit in there. So yeah, so this is how I break it down. So first, you want to just compile a list of everything. So CLEP tests from your list from before, all of the highlighted ones, and putting it all together. This is literally what I did. Is I just took these and I put them in more organizations so you could actually see it. So you have, based off the list we had from the last step, we have 16 CLEP tests that we're going to be looking at. I'll go through the ones that are required. So micro, macro, college composition, precalculus are all required. Humanities is required. Calculus is required. Business law, marketing, and management are all required. The other ones are elective courses, or like courses that could have gone a few different ways. I put German in there because I do speak German, and it's just a huge credit boost. Just a huge, huge credit boost. Definitely want to do it. For DSST tests, we got 3 tests. We got business ethics, principles of finance and statistics. Study.com, we got 7 classes. Here they are. And then for Sophia Learning, we got these 2. And then the Digital Marketing Institute experiences, we have this one. And you could just have that submitted in. And then you have your courses through SNHU. Now, yes, it's 33 credit hours. And yes, this is 90 credit hours. So technically, you're going to be getting more credits than a full bachelor's degree. But there's just not really much you can do about that. I mean, you could, in theory, take off one of these elective credits up here, like screw college algebra or something like that, if you really wanted to. Yeah, like there's take it from the electives. That would be the best way. And so yeah, I chose personally for culmination, I chose film and American culture, just because I love movies, I love filmmaking. I think it's one of the coolest things ever. The industry is its own thing, but like the actual art form itself is amazing to me. And that's also why I chose Foundations in Humanities, Music and Meaning. I love music and just like art in general. Most of these are just required and have to be done through the school. So here's how I'd break it down. This is actually something I learned more recently in life. It's called segment intending, or segment intention. How this means, this is a fun little psychology thing. Depression is based off of thoughts that are dwelled in the past. So if you're dwelling in your past, you're going to typically be very depressed. If you're overthinking and overplanning too far into the future, you're going to be very anxious. That's where anxiety comes from. So what segment intention allows you to do is it allows you to focus on the next segment, this thing that we're in right now. Focus on the next 2 to 3 weeks pretty much exclusively. These are mapped in 8-week segments. Just always break it down into as small of chunks as possible. You're eating, think of like a 50-pound steak, okay? You got to cut off 4 ounces of it and then cut those 4 ounces into smaller bite-sized pieces and eat them one bite at a time. Don't try to shove the whole steak in your mouth. It's not going to work. Tests, like I said before, typically take about 1 to 2 weeks of full-time study. Just adjust the pace to fit however your schedule works, man. Like, The goal here is to save you money and you time. So if you're getting to the point where you're stressed or overwhelmed, you need to chill out. You need to stop for a second. Honestly, I took an 8-week break in the middle of my testing of this just because I needed a vacation. Like I just needed time away from studying, which I think a lot of people do. So, and a lot of people work full-time jobs. Like I know there's a lot of people out there who are probably full-time parents or have a full-time job who want to get their degree. Do this at your pace. If this takes you 8 years and you're still only paying 20 grand for it, hell yes. That's so much better than spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. So make that your priority. You're your priority. Don't have to do it my way. I was 18, living on my parents' dime at my parents' house, and I didn't have a job. I had like I worked at a bakery 20 hours a week. So it was very easy to do this full time. And that was mostly for social things. I wasn't like desperate for money because my parents were paying for everything. I was very fortunate in that way. But yeah, just adjust this to what your current situation is, however that goes. So this is a 1-year degree timeline. Each session at school, they typically give you 2 courses. So you're going to want to just do those 2 courses and then take as many CLEPs one at a time during that session. So say it's the 8 weeks for these 2 courses, SNHU 107 and Humanities 110D. Now, I just want to say this right out the gate. This SNHU 107 class is a joke. It literally is just like telling you how to learn online, and it kind of just goes over how the website is formatted and how to like structure all the stuff. So it's very basic. Yes, you have to attend. It's not going to take you more than a few hours a week, to be honest with you. Same with the Humanities one. So you'll have plenty of time to study for these other tests. So I put 7 tests in here. Again, you don't have to do that many. You can do it at your pace. This is in my world. If I was to do this right now, with the situation I had when I was 18, this is how I could accomplish it. This is exactly what I would do. So I would go one at a time, and I would organize them quite like this. So I would do microeconomics first. I would study for 1 week to 2 weeks. I would use probably modern states, watch the video courses on the microeconomics course all the way through, take a practice exam for the CLEP, and then once the practice exam I'm getting a 70% or higher, I'm going to then schedule my microeconomics test, go have my microeconomics test on my cheat day. I would always do it on my cheat day. And I would fast until after the test, which I always took the test at like first thing in the morning at like 9 a.m. And so I'd be done by 11, and then I'd celebrate with a bunch of junk food and hate my life by the end of the day. But you know what? It was how I did it. So yeah, microeconomics, macroeconomics, college composition, precalculus. And like I said, if you can do college math and college algebra together with precalculus, they're all the same test. You could do them all in one day and only study for one of them. It's really nice. And then intro to psychology. So these first 2 segments here are also the ones that I scheduled with the most, just because it's the easiest time to get the most out of the way. Try, when you're doing these easy courses like this, just try to test out of so many things. If you can do more than this, do more than this. I honestly think most people could do more than this. I'm just trying to make it very manageable. But yeah, so we're going on to the second week segment. So we got film and American culture and sustainable business. We're taking these 2 courses through SNHU online for 8 weeks. There's typically a 1-week gap in between these, so keep that in mind. 7 tests. Humanities, nice and easy, fun one. Calculus sucks, bro. I have no other way of saying it than, like, if you're good at calculus or you're like a math whiz, then great, good for you. I am not. I am not at all. I'm a history guy. And so calculus was never my forte. Actually, the CLEP calculus exam is the only exam that I would say that I just failed miserably. I scored a 37, I believe, on it. So 13 points below passing. I think that's like equivalent to like a 40%. So garbage, just absolute garbage. And don't don't listen to me about calculus. So if you need to study for calculus for 4 weeks, do it. Okay. I only studied for it for a week. And I was mostly taking it to prove a point. I didn't actually need the credit. And the point that I was trying to prove was not made. So, yikes. Do it at your pace when you feel ready. With all of these, if I could go back and do calculus again and I had to, I would take a longer time to do it. Number 1. And number 2, I would study the course all the way to the end Once I'm done studying the course all the way to the end, I take the practice exam. If I'm scoring above a 70%, even if it's at a 70%, I would go take the test. Just because if I'm scoring a 70%, I'm pretty much there. Like, there's a pretty high likelihood that I'm going to pass. And if you fail, you just retake it again in 3 months and study it for it one more time. It's really not a big deal. So now we're kind of reducing the amount of external tests that we're taking on this third 8-week session. So if you notice, the classes are starting to get a little bit harder. Yes, this is 301, but it's film and American culture. So I don't know if you know anything about film school, but they basically just show you movies and tell you that they're good. So yeah, continuing on. Yeah, you got these 2 courses here. A little more tough, a little more specific, but still, these are sophomore courses. They're not very difficult. And then you want to focus on these CLEPs and DSSTs. Now, DSSTs, again, are more refined information. I'm doing German because I speak German. Do whatever your heart desires, okay? This is elective credits, so fill in your elective credits how you want to fill them in. Now, for the fourth 8-week session, we got critical business skills and driving business opportunities. Now, this is a 400 level course. You're going into your senior section here. So this is going to be a little bit tougher here. This one might be a little more easy to manage, but it depends on everybody. So English Composition 2, it's basically like English Composition 1, and then Sophia Learning for the Principles of Marketing, as well as the Digital Marketing Institute experiences for the Certified Digital Marketing Professional. Yeah, so you get that out of the way. The 5th week session, same deal. You're just chunking these out, okay? Bit by bit by bit. History of the American Civil Rights Movement. These are study.com courses right here. The reason why I segmented these as well the way they are is because you have to pay for study.com. So I would rather, like if it was me, I would rather pay for 2 8-week sessions worth of study.com as opposed to all 6, just because you're going to save a lot more money doing it that way. And then, yeah, you have the last 3 here, which is these 3 courses: marketing research, consumer behavior, and applied marketing. And yeah, that's the gist of how to do segment intention for your degree. Excuse me. So yeah, if this does feel overwhelming to you, just adjust it to your comfort level. Like I said, this is your journey. This is your map. If you're getting a BS in marketing from Southern New Hampshire University, take this and use it all you want to, man. I don't care. If you're doing something else and you want me to help you with it, man, just reach out to me. Reach out to me at theoneyeardiploma.com, okay? I will gladly set up a free call with you and go over what you need, and I can create this for you. So I want to make sure that you feel really set, that like you have exactly what you need, you know exactly what you're doing, and you're just going to go get it done, man. So cool. On to the next step.